Hello, welcome to a new video. So today I'm channeling my inner Eddie Munson with all the rings and of course a Hellfire Club t-shirt, one of many that I own. And I mean, you will know from the thumbnail and the title, but this is going to be a video of Stranger Things characters as books. So this is not an original idea completely. I don't know if anyone's done it for Stranger Things characters, but I have seen people in the past do, oh, this book suits this character, and it's Halloween season. Stranger Things is like one of my favourite TV shows, and I had this idea that certain books would fit certain characters, and some of them might seem a bit odd, but I would explain why I think the book fits the character as I go. But I would also big shout out to Ash because she helped me with a few of these because there was a few I was stuck, and actually the first one is one that I've not actually read the book, but she has. But knowing what I know about the book, I know it's gonna fit. So without further ado, these characters are in no order, they are just as I thought of them. So let's go. Also, yes, it is the end of September and I still have my fan on. It is so warm today, so warm. I'm also, yes, filming this in advance because I start my new job and I want to be on top of things. So let's go with the first character, which is of course Eddie Munson. So the book I picked for Eddie is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames. So this is about like a group of mercenaries that are like a band, and if that doesn't describe Hellfire Club and like Gareth and all that lot with Eddie, I don't know what does. I think this is perfect, and Eddie gets thrown into this world that he didn't know existed, and I just think this is great. Next up is The King, Steve Harrington, and for this I've chosen Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. Now my reasoning is, when we meet Rhysand in this, you think he is a class a-hole, like he's so up himself, he's like the king of the school, and as the series goes on you get to actually know him. He becomes a better person and he's much nicer, and if that's not Steve Harrington, I don't know what is. It, like, series 2 Steve is like when I started to fall in love with him, and then they threw at me season 3 Scoops Ahoy Steve, and it changed the entire trajectory of my life. Is that a bit dramatic? Yes, but it's true. Next up we have Robin Buckley, and for this it is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. The reason for this is because Robin is, and I'm talking about season 4 Robin is unashamedly herself, and especially around people that she cares about and trusts, and I just think that this is so Claire and Delilah. Like, I love Robin. Robin is one of my favourite characters, and I'm here for it, and I loved Delilah Green Doesn't Care, and I think this book fits Robin's character perfectly. Next up is Nancy Wheeler, and for this I am choosing Mayday by Josie Jaffrey. The reason for this is because Nancy is very much the detective journalist, and the main character in this, Jack, is literally a detective. Granted, she is also a vampire and she's bisexual, and it is not canon, but Nancy Wheeler is bisexual. I refuse to believe she's not. Yes, that's my hill and I'm gonna die on it. Next up is Dustin Henderson, and we have got The Novice by Taran Matharu. The main reason for this is the main character in this has this little like lizardy type creature, and if you've seen season 2 you would have met Dart, that Dustin discovers and makes his little pet. It's perfect. Next is Lucas Sinclair, and for this I've chosen Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. Just all of Percy Jackson, because I feel like Percy has all these great ideas but no one ever listens to him until it's too late, and then they're like all appreciative of him. And I feel like Lucas is overlooked so much in all of these series, and it makes me so sad because Lucas is so smart And he's just such a great character and he deserves more recognition for that. Next up is Will Byers, and this is going to be very obvious. It is Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. The main reason for this is Will is gay. Like, it's been hinted in the other seasons that he is like fully in love with Mike, but season 4, like, if you think that whole like breakdown was about anything other than him being gay and in love with his best friend, then you did not watch the same TV show as I did. And this is about like Simon coming out, and I think it's such a beautiful story, and I just want all the happiness for Will like Simon gets, and I'm hoping season 5 will put that right. Next up we have Mike Wheeler. He is my least favourite character. I loved him in season 1. He was a sweetheart. But as he's grown up, I do not like that boy at all. Like, if he dies in season 5, I won't cry. I will not shed a tear for him. But the book for him is actually a book I love, and it's You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle. And the reason for this is Mike does not know how to communicate with people, and this whole book, the romance is based off of miscommunication, but in the best way. And I feel like this suits Mike perfectly because he is the actual worst at communicating his feelings. And he's going to hurt people for it. So yeah. Next we have 11. And for this, I've chose Middle Game by Shauna Maguire. Kids experimented on that have powers. No other book is going to fit 11 more than this one. This is perfect for 11 because, as we know, 11 has powers. Many experiments went on during her childhood and it fits. Next we have Max Mayfield, and for this, bit of a different one, Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. The reason for this is that she has been like pulled, there's actually 2 reasons. She's been like pulled out of this world and into this new world. She's met these new people, and it is vastly different from her old world where she would just skateboard and have a really crappy brother, and now she's dealing with monsters and creatures. And also this book is about Fortuna, who is a species called nightmares, and Max has nightmares, so 2 reasons this book works. Next up is Jonathan Byers. I feel like Jonathan is so underappreciated because I feel like he could be a great character, and Charlie Heaton's great, but I just feel like they're not giving him some good storylines. But for this, I'm choosing Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff because Jonathan is a photographer, detective type person, and this is mixed media and has loads of different types of media in there, like with pictures and stuff, so I think that works. Next is Joyce Byers, and I feel like no other book could work for this other than Something is Killing the Children by James Tynion IV. My reasoning is she is literally, this main character in this series, she fights monsters to save kids. I'm sorry, does Joyce or does Joyce not literally like hack at her wall at where a monster is coming through to save some children? She is Erica Slaughter. Joyce is a badass. I love Joyce. Next up we have Hopper. I love Hopper so much, but this book was, I couldn't not put this book for Hopper, and it is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. And my reasoning is Hopper is a grumpy man who gets thrust into these children's lives and ends up softening towards them and becoming like essentially a dad. And I love this for like, because Hopper hated these kids. These kids were the bane of his existence. He puts himself in danger multiple times to make sure these kids are safe. He adopts one of them and is like the most adorable dad ever, and I love it. Next up we have Karen Wheeler. Now, none of the other parents other than Joyce and Karen are on this, and the reason for that is I feel like Karen is like a very important character and is going to be a very important character. And my whole thing with Karen is the book I've chosen is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. And the reasoning behind it is she's a lot like Elsie. Elsie spends her whole life doing everything to make everyone else happy and everyone else's life easier at detriment to her own life. And only now is she starting to realise that she can be a person. We start to see that a little bit in season 3 with her like rebelling. And granted, I don't agree with the way she rebels in season 3, but you can see that she married Ted very young, had kids with him, and now just has this basic housewife life. And she's not happy because she's just doing everything to make everyone else happy and not thinking of herself, which is literally Elsie. Next up is Murray, and you're going to be really confused when I hold this book up, and I promise you I am not holding this book up just to get this book on these recommendations. There is a reason, and it is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. My reason for this being Murray's book is Murray instantly is like, what's going on between you two? It's like, you clearly like each other, we can see it, you can't, get together. Us reading this book is literally like that with Adam and Olive. Like, everyone around them is like, they're together, that's cute, but they're like, no, we don't actually like each other, this is fake dating. But we know, and Murray knows. Murray always knows. So see, there was a reason. And then the final character, I feel like I might have like forgotten a few characters, but I've done like the main one. And the final character is Argyle. I could not forget Argyle. And for this, I've done Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. And the reason is, this book's a bit like pineapple on pizza. You either love it or you think it's an abomination. Argyle loves pineapple on pizza. I love pineapple on pizza as well. I'm a pineapple on pizza girly, and I will fight anyone that says it doesn't belong there, because if you want pineapple on pizza, you have pineapple on pizza. It's your pizza. Put on there what you want. Anyway, this book is very much I've never seen anyone just be a bit mid about this book. They either love this book like I do, or they're like, this book makes no sense, what the hell is going on, I don't like it. So I feel like this book is perfect for Argyle. So that was all of the Stranger Things characters as books. I hope you liked my reasoning for some of these, and obviously I do recommend all of these books. Whilst I haven't actually read Kings of the Wild, I'm going to be reading this, and actually by the time this video comes up I might have already read it, but I am like really excited for this, and this definitely fits Eddie. But the rest of the books I have read and I highly recommend. So I hope you got some recommendations from this video. Let me know in the comments below if there is any other characters you think I've missed that I shouldn't have. I will straight up just say Billy doesn't deserve one. I hate Billy's character. I'm like, I know I don't like Mike, but Billy I have a hatred for. So yeah, to the point on Twitter when I was like I follow a few like people who do fan fiction for like Steady and Romance and that. Anyone that does Billy fan fiction where Billy is not the villain, I block them because I don't want that on my timeline. So if you comment Billy, that's not happening. But yeah, I think I've got all of the like main characters. Yeah, I think I've got all the main characters. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.